This podcast features adults using adult language, so listener discretion is advised. The Legend of Zelda is property of Nintendo, while Dungeons & Dragons is property of Wizards of the Coast. We are sponsored by neither, and this is a homebrew game played for fun by folks who are fans of both. But now, without further ado, let us continue tales of danger, determination and adventure in Hyrule Chronicles. Hello everyone, and welcome to Hyrule Chronicles, episode 11. I am ArticulateT, and joining me today, playing Sho Daius, I have SteveTheSeregios.
Hello.
Playing Hikan, I have Alvarance.
Hello.
Playing Ziden Shari, I have RoboPirate.
Hello.
And playing Max, I have Keastreth.
Hello.
And we will have a Renji at some point today. It's just that he's currently out and about doing things and will be turning up to the game late. So he will be here.
Putting his makeup on.
How dare he have a real life?
How dare he not spend time being a nerd throwing dice around?
Speaking of which, I guess it's probably worth saying that normally the next episode would be 31st of July or something, which is Monday after next or Tuesday after next, whatever time it will be. But at that time, I will be in Canada without my recording equipment, so we won't be running a game then. So it might be a week or maybe a 2-week delay between episode 11 and episode 12. Just thought I'd keep you up to date on that one. But yeah, so without that out of the way, what happened last time, folks?
Last time, while Dragon Ball... No. Last time, the party had reconvened at Simeon's estate, and the people who weren't there, aka angry samurai boy, who left in a huff after finding out the news about Marcus Whitestone and returning from the castle, was briefed by the mission, which is as such. Well, Simeon has tasked us with going to some ruins, southwest rather, from Hyrule Castle Town, which I believe is called the Echo of Hylia, which is essentially basically a rundown monastery kinda. It's ruins of like a church and some other dilapidated building, which pilgrims go to in order to pay their respects to the goddess of light, Hylia. So we managed to get on the carriage before it left town and made our way as far south as possible on a terrible bumpy road. Our asses are numb. It's not great. And so
I saw a bird.
We saw a Helmarok King.
I didn't.
Flying around. So people who were aware of it, which I believe was Hikan and Ziden.
Everybody was sitting at the back of the caravan.
Everyone is sitting at the back of the caravan. Saw a giant Kargarok flying around, like a giant Kargarok. Either that Kargarok was very close, or Jesus Christ, that's a big Kargarok. And we saw that and flying. It was northwestwards, right?
Yeah, northwestwards, presumably further northwest than Hyrule Castle Town, closer to the coast by Sarkoza Port Town, which is a ways away.
Which is a fair bit away. Well, it's not a problem for that, it's a bird. As we continued, we stopped off at a point on the road, since it was the closest we could get to on the caravan, and we bid our nice caravan driver farewell and continued walking the rest of the way to the Echo of Hylia. As we went along our way, we managed to, thanks to our helpful druid friend, avoid an encounter with Peahat, an Ocarina of Time Peahat, so a flying buzzsaw. Less than ideal. And then we ended up making camp for the night. During the night, we got attacked by rabies doggos, like some manic wolves. Even after Ziden had communicated with them, they seemed to be a lot more frenzied. then
I tried to make friends.
you did your
Never
best.
works.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You did your best, but it didn't. This time, like many times, it didn't go to plan.
It wasn't my fault this time.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault this time. It's someone else's fault. Speaking of someone else's fault, the sun's not back. When we woke up and dawn was supposed to be a thing, dawn was not a thing. The moon is currently hanging at the same point in the sky. It's dark, and it seems like the day-night cycle engine in Ocarina of Time has stopped working.
And needs to close.
And yes, and we've generally made the assumption that there's some... God damn it. There's a using by detect magic spell generally through the air and up and across through direction to actually the Echo of Hylia where we're going to. There is some big enchantment magic, I believe, right? Big traces of enchanting magic.
Yeah.
And it leads over, and the source of said enchantment, and maybe what's causing the night to, not end, might be over at the Echo of Hylia, with which, where we left off, we had come across the ruins and waited, and I suppose, and that was where we ended last session, I believe.
Yes. So you're up on a small rise looking down upon the small village ruins of the Echo of Hylia, a collection of small farm-style buildings which only barely still have their roofs. But the church that stands in the middle, from what you can see from the distance, seems in fairly good nick compared to most other things. And hanging above it is a big, full, moon-like object.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention, there's a fucking Powerball floating around there.
And,
sadly, no one in the party has turned into the mighty Ozaru just yet, but who knows?
Who knows? And so it is that we find ourselves standing over this village. And looking down, a couple of you, Renji especially, and he probably would alert the others to this, would be saying that you can see shapes of people just in the darkness, just standing around, not really doing much.
Are they looking at the ball?
They're not looking at the ball, they're just kind of staring off into space. Like they're facing in different directions, just staring.
Oh. And with my detect magic still in its last vestiges, I'm assuming that big-ass ball is a big hunk of enchantment magic.
Yeah.
Crips.
I hope the dynamic lighting works on this map, but I'll drag you over to said map. You find yourself on the right side of the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And,
yes, there we go.
Yeah. There you see there is so as you kind of if you make a cautious approach, or where you can see there are various different buildings around what appears to be a very basic village structure. There's like a cluster of buildings, there's a well in the center of town, a couple of different places have what used to be farms for the purpose of farming crops, and this immense building that was a church to Hylia.
So it was a small little village with its only notable feature being an actual giant synagogue in the middle.
Pretty much.
Huh.
You can make a history check if you'd like.
I would like to.
Yeah, everybody can.
History.
I rolled a 19.
19. Okay.
-2. I got 1.
What? That isn't a natural.
I don't think my character would know.
Okay.
I have a 17.
Okay. So Ziden and Sho, both of you would kind of recall bits and pieces about the Echo of Hylia. Others have taken to colloquially call it Founder's Folly. It was assumed at one point that this used to be the first, an attempt at the first founding place of what would later become the Kingdom of Hyrule. But then it was kind of like people decided to stick around more towards where Hyrule Castle Town is at the moment. So this became like so they built the church like, yes, this is going to be great. Why is no one staying? And would just kind of find themselves with a couple of small buildings, and there would be the occasional religious passerby, but otherwise, for the most part, people would likely settle closer towards Hyrule, where Hyrule Castle Town is.
This is that one scene of Madagascar where it's like, this is the cool side of the island.
Yeah.
Or rather, this is the boring side of the island, and everyone over in Hyrule Castle Town is having so much fun with their actual town.
How many of these people can we see milling around?
Make a perception check.
You can't see shit, Max.
No, Max is long ear Hylian.
Max has dark vision.
Yeah.
Oh,
The only member of the party that lacks dark vision is Tyrina.
Tyrina's like, what's going on?
I got 14.
14. You can definitely see.
I got a nat 20.
You got a
Jeez,
nat 20. Max, you think you can see 4 people just in front of the church, but everything else is a bit too dark to see clearly. Hikan and Hikan especially, but also Ziden, who also got a 25. You can see a couple more people. There are a couple of people heading, like, in this collection of buildings to the north. There's another person just beside the church on the northern side of the building, and you can see a couple more people in a kind of a northwesterly direction from where you are, behind more buildings, but you can't be sure.
So around about 10 people.
Around about.
Do we want to introduce ourselves?
They don't seem hostile.
I haven't noticed this yet, by the look of it.
Indeed. We shall approach, do so with caution. That orb in the center of the sky is not sitting right with me. If that has something to do with it, there might be someone with magical prowess around here causing what I assume is the very long night that we're having. It's the only lead that we have right now.
Dorian's gonna very quickly take something out of a pack. There's a cracker, and you can see she's lit a sunrod so that she can finally see.
Sorry, Tyrina. I always forget that you can't see.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Well,
Gonna move out of the light so that the people over there might not be able to see me.
alright, let's advance.
Renji's gonna follow along.
As we get close to this person, Sho is going to walk by and just like, hello there, citizen.
And as you walk over, it just slowly turns over. You can see quite clearly that there are. It's not like the bandits that you've encountered at the start of your journey, but they have dark circles under their eyes. They look tired. They just very slowly look over and go, "Hello."
Oh, Hylia's breath. Are you okay?
Yeah. And just slowly turns away to stare off back into space where they were started.
Right. Well, they're not hostile. They're not terribly cognizant, it would seem. Let's keep making our way, but keep an eye on the civilians.
Sure.
Hikan actually, before they move on, just goes, "What happened?"
She slowly turns to you, turns to the other shoulder, looks at you, just goes, "Hello."
Hello. What happened here?
And that's all she says. She just kind of goes, then stares off into space, and then seemingly forgets the conversation.
And then I assume if we ask her again, she's just going to go, "Oh, hello," and yeah.
Yeah.
Would I be able to guess if she's under any kind of disease or curse or something?
Make a medicine check. Or an
My
arcana check. If you're thinking curse, arcana. If you're thinking disease, medicine.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that my detect magic wore off, so I'm going to roll an arcana myself.
Okay.
I went for medicine and got a natural 1, putting me at 7.
I rolled arcana.
I too am okay with medicine.
I
got a 10.
I rolled arcana and got a non-natural 25. Jesus Christ, a lot of you.
Max don't know shit about medicine. Max
You
got
can
3.
You can barely put gauzes on yourselves, let alone denote if this person's sick or not.
Medicine's scary.
No, just for the hell of it. No, I want to roll medicine. please tell me I get the best.
There you go. Okay, so
I rolled a 25 Arcana and a 19 Medicine, something that I am not proficient in, nor do I have a reasonably good Wisdom skill.
So Ziden and Max, you both kind of do like the inquisitive sort of pinching your chin sort of thing, go and turn to try and go blim flu. And Hikan, you kind of look over them with your 10. You look over them and think, maybe sleep deprivation is the closest thing you can think of. But even sleep deprivation doesn't rob them of that much concentration. Typically, they just fall asleep on their own before they either fall asleep on their own or die before they get to that point.
Jesus!
Sleep deprivation is a terrible thing, man. You don't sleep.
No, I meant that they're not dead yet.
Yeah.
That's why I tried to roll Arcana.
Sticking with the medicine for the moment, with the 19 medicine, Sho, you kind of draw some of the conclusions. You think that something has kept them awake, and some external thing has kept them from collapsing by this point.
They're awake, but not necessarily conscious.
And with your Arcana, you believe that whatever thing that may have cursed them, if there is a curse, then it might have something to do with the nice big moon that's in the sky. But as far as you're aware, this is meant to be a ruin. So all of you kind of put together on your own that these must be the pilgrims or another group of individuals who have wandered into the area somehow.
Do any of them have clothing that would denote Hylian iconography?
I'd say make a perception check, but this person certainly does. They have kind of like the bird symbol on their clothes. They're carrying a holy symbol of like a little trinket, holy symbol of Hylia.
Right, and the buildings around here are like ruined. Like they're there's no roofs on some of them.
So some of them they can provide, like a few of them can provide shelter, but they're not there for long-term living.
Right.
There's like you can see you peeking in through one of the windows, especially with Tyrina holding a sun rod. You can see like there's remnants of furniture. But
no one lives here.
Since you mentioned the bird iconography, just out of curiosity, how much is it like Max's symbol?
Nothing like Max's. So the Hylia bird symbol is basically the lower half of the royal crest.
So you know the Triforce with the wings and the talons.
Oh yeah. I've played Skyward Sword.
Yeah, so that's it. It's just that symbol. It's just Sans Triforce.
I
figured
I'd ask.
That's fine. Max, I would imagine Max's symbol, while it has like
Max's isn't stylized.
Yeah,
like the symbol of Hylia is.
I would assume if there was a perspective on it, it would be like a bird on its like a side profile of a bird in flight, as opposed to top profile.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would assume that we might find more answers if we investigate that ball in the sky.
Guess I have to go in the church then.
Because the ball is hanging just above the church, isn't it?
Yeah. Now that you're much closer, you can estimate that it's about a ball, which is like a sphere, 30-foot diameter sphere, which is just hanging above the pointed steeple of the church.
Doesn't have a face, right?
It doesn't have a face.
Probably already made that joke.
It's just a big white ball, right?
Yeah, it's just a big white glowing ball.
Is there any sound coming from that direction? Like, I don't know, an ominous chanting, something like that.
Make a perception check.
8.
You don't hear any ominous chanting. And as everybody seems to be moving northwards towards these collections of buildings. Hikan, as you pass this small storehouse, I'd like you to make a perception check.
A 15?
Nice. As you pass by this, it's basically like what looks like an exterior shed, but the roof is a large portion of the roof is caved in. You kind of glance, you kind of glance inside as you pass by it. You see what appears to be the shifting of shadows, and as you stop and look back, everything is still.
Sho, I saw moving shadows, I think.
Where?
It was this one, right?
No, the one south of you.
In the building, and he points to his right since he's now facing the group.
With his hand on his sword, Sho
Is it?
peers his head in. Yeah.
I'm just gonna check this way in on the other side of the building.
Okay.
It is there. I can't really tell.
Looking around the other side of the building, you don't seem to find any other entrances. It appears that the one that they found is the only one.
Is there a window?
Not an intact one. You see a hole where a window once was, but
I'm gonna look in through the.
okay, it's
Wherever-
very
wherever
high,
it is.
so you kind of hoist yourself up, do as much of a chin up as you can possibly do, and just look around and see.
You probably meet eyes with Sho.
Yeah. So Sho and Max, if you'd like to make perception checks. Tyrina's
Rightio.
going to continue moving north towards the.
I can't see anything today.
Nor can I. I got a natural 1, total of 5.
And I have a 6.
I think that puts us 3 natural ones so far in like 10
I
rolls.
believe- yeah.
We're doing great.
You're doing fantastic, guys. Keep it up.
Don't say that.
4 natural ones.
Don't say
and
that.
1 non-natural one.
I don't see shit, essentially.
Yeah, you
May
kind
I
of-
look inside?
Sure. You kind of have a look around. You don't see any disturbances.
I tag out with Ziden because, like, it's the drink-addled mind of this child is playing tricks on it.
I got 15.
Okay. You kind of look around. You think you see movement, and you focus on it. You like raise your staff, ready to strike at something, and then like a small spider, just like the size of a garden spider, just kind of skitters up the wall into what little light you can see. Stops, having realized it's been spotted, and then continues on.
So just a spider. Fair enough.
Just a spider.
Speaking of spiders, Sho is going to reach into his sleeve and pull out his regular spider familiar.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast Find Familiar in order to change its form into an owl.
Okay. So you kind of wave your hands, mutter, sprinkle or utilize the charcoal and incense in the incantation, and suddenly your spider transmogrifies into an owl that perches rather happily on your arm.
Sho like pats it on the head and is like, try and fly into the church, see what you can see.
Okay. It nods and
When I'm assuming it lands like through a window, lands on one of the raised beams, I'm going to lean up against a wall so I don't get bonked over when I dull my senses, and I just focus onto the owl's scent, smell, taste,
Okay.
and everything.
I'm just going to see how far away you are. How far is it? That's more than 100 feet. Okay. Well, so it can get to around about the upper corner.
Oh, right. So upon noticing this, and it flies past the 100 feet, and then boof, I can't see anymore. It's like, god, no.
Yeah. So you can say it gets to around about it gets to the upper corner of the building, maybe like just past the front door. And looking over, you can it looks for a window access, but as said before, the church seems to be in very good condition by comparison to most things. Even what stained glass windows are there are still in full condition. They don't appear to be broken or shattered in any way. It doesn't appear to be like a latch to get in. The other windows have been boarded up, but it's just kind of unable to find some kind of access inside. It's remarkably well concealed.
Sho calls the owl back to himself and uses an action to just store it in a pocket dimension.
Okay.
I won't be able to see through there. If we want to survey the church, we'll have to go up and do it manually.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a look around here, see if I can see anything. And Renji's gonna follow you guys. Hikan, you tapped a thing on the map. What are you looking at?
On the map, and I don't know if it's like that or is intended to be like that, because I know sometimes we gotta work with the maps that we got. Is that an illegitimate garden? Is that what that's supposed to be over here in the west?
Sadly, it is a case of having to work with the maps that we got.
Okay.
It's effectively what you're seeing there is what used to be a tilled portion of ground in order to grow crops, but sadly there are no crops there anymore.
Okay, cool. That's all I just wanted to ask.
Okay.
I assume when me and Tyrina walk into the square here, I'm assuming that these poor villagers are in their same less than cognizant state.
Yeah. And as you guys move along, as you guys move in, I want everybody who enters the kind of interior village square thing, because I'll describe it a bit more. You enter in, you see what appears to be an open plan space where the buildings are surrounded what appears to be a well of some kind. There are broken barrels and carts and everything that are laid out bare, clearly abandoned. And as you enter, I'd like everybody to make perception checks.
We lost Max.
I got a 24.
Keastreth just bonked out of Discord.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and Netherlad's typing in the thing saying that.
Yeah.
Friendly. So, be careful, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess at this point I'm going to say, we'll roll perception and whatnot, but on the recording, I'd say cut this out because we're experiencing technical difficulties.
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. We will probably be around in a bit. We just need to make sure that we sort out our friends who have seemingly lost contact on Discord, which is a bit... Welcome back, everybody. I believe we've fixed technical difficulties. We also in the ether of untangling wires in the internet, we found ourselves a Netherlad who plays Renji.
Hello. Hi. I'm happy to be here.
While surfing the cyber sea, we came across some fucking straggler with some floaties on, help! And so we dragged him aboard our terrible ship and decided.
To get you caught up real quick, we're wandering around the village, around the thingies, and all these civilians seem to be dazed and confused. We tried talking to them, they do not talk back.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, they say hello, and that's about it.
They say hello. You get like a good old two conversation pieces out of them, and then
Hello.
they return to their.
Times are tough.
They
They're
have,
like-
they,
they're-
they have 2 preset lines.
They're Oblivion NPCs.
Darn it.
We'll keep you by this area by the divine seal of the road. You elves are all the same, all bluster and no.
Oh dear. So recently I have asked everybody who is entering this little village square thing with a well in the middle, surrounded by these ruined buildings.
Perception!
Checks. So we have Ziden with a 24, we have Sho with a 16, Max with a 12.
And Renji is going to join as well.
Okay.
Do the thing.
And do the thing.
You might want to move yourself
Mm-hmm.
up into a little group that we have.
If my laptop wants to do that.
Oh, there is.
It's a 6.
A mighty 6. Ziden, you kind of pass your gaze around some of these buildings, past the people. You see more flits of shadows moving. These ones far bigger, far more fluid than spiders. And there's you can hear the perception of you can hear a subtle sort of.
Does that sound familiar to me?
You don't hear it yet.
Okay. Okay.
Because you roll
Which direction was it from?
all directions.
Yeah.
There's just creepy laughter from all directions.
Yes.
Well, that's disconcerting.
Since I'm not in the square, should I roll perception to hear it?
Roll perception at disadvantage to hear the laughter, but you don't see the flitting of shadows.
Ziden will then hold up a hand to stop, I guess, Tyrina, since she's nearby, and say to her, "Do you hear that laughter?"
I will roll perception for her. Wow.
At disadvantage, that is a 15.
Okay. Tyrina got a 7. She kind of like looks around and goes, "No."
I do.
You hear creepy laughter.
Indeed.
And Hikan with a 15, you do hear the creepy laughter coming from the village area.
Just bolts her into the square. I had it.
I'm gonna start heading that direction.
Okay.
I heard it too. Is there someone there?
Yes. Says one from this direction.
Never good.
Does Renji hear that?
It's right behind you, buddy.
I know.
So at the answer to the question, everybody seems like everybody kind of hushes and focuses, and everybody manages to hear it. And at which point, another voice from over here says, "You're not like the others." And then one from the north says, "You're full of energy." And then then one from where you just came from says, "That's just so delicious."
Not yours to eat, I'm afraid.
And then
Renji takes
yet another one says,
his weapon.
"Oh, we'll be taking what we want." So as you kind of look around, emerging from different bits of shadow from these areas and what little light there is, especially now reflected by Tyrina's sunrod, you can see these shadowy figures emerging and kind of taking this very basic form as they round the corner and almost completely surround you. And I'd like everybody to roll initiative for me, please. So I'm just going
Of course.
over here so everybody can see where they are.
I cannot roll double figures at all today.
So this one's going over here, and this one's over there.
I got a 17.
I have a 16.
7.
14 for me.
Huzzah.
5.
5.
Tyrina got 13.
And
I guess I get to sit back and watch you guys fight for a while.
And the Shadow's got a natural 1.
I guess not, Max.
Still the rest of you going before me.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put on some appropriate battle music and then reset the turns, and then this seems appropriate, and then we will sending. Okay, so Hikan, turning around, you see a couple of these shadow individuals there appear to be of average build, of the very basic outline drawn of these shadowy figures. And they all kind of look at you, and the only thing that you can see is the luminescent sort of sinister smile on their faces.
Out of curiosity, what would I roll to attempt to identify these?
That would be a religion check, my friend.
-2. A 17!
A 17.
Wow.
Very nice.
You had a beautiful moment of clarity within your drunken stupor.
These are what you would know as shadows. They are malevolent.
Oh wow!
They are malevolent undead spirits, corrupted souls who have kind of taken pleasure in draining the strength and life from the living. They are known for being able to simply melt into shadows and also being notably weak to sunlight.
Oh ho.
Using my free action, I shout back to everybody, "These are undead shadow thingies that are weak to sunlight!"
Got it!
And then I will go ahead and get next to this one that's just a couple squares north of me, and I will attempt to whack it with my stick.
Okay.
A 21 to hit.
A 21 does indeed hit. For 9 damage. So you kind of whack it. You feel there's kind of a weight behind it, but you see and feel. It's basically like hitting like a massive mound of custard or treacle. So this kind of semi-viscous liquid thing. As you hit it, there's a weight behind it, but your staff passes through it all the same. But you do note that it does take a significant amount of damage.
It does take a significant amount of damage.
So kind of like the choo-choos that we were fighting, but a bit less solid.
If that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and whack it with the... or punch it right after I hit that, so...
Okay.
15?
So you punch it, you feel your fist sink through the chest of this thing, and you pull it back out. You see shadows kind of disperse and then slowly begin to reform, but it still remains standing. You've cut it down to size because you separated parts of its body and everything, but you still do it. It's still you still manage to effectively tear chunks out of the thing.
Alrighty, and I already used my free action and my movement to get up there, so that's turn.
Okay. Ziden.
Most obvious one, I guess, is go for that one. So, since I don't, let me check what the attack type of this is. Would undead shadows be immune to poison?
What you would need to do is you would need to roll a religion check to know that.
Also, I would assume.
20.
You believe that since these things lack an actual corporeal body, that they would be immune to things like poison.
I'm gonna poison you in your veins. Haha, joke's on you, fucker.
Damn it. So I have to stay close enough to Tyrina to use her light. Let me just shoot them.
Okay.
I guess for now, I will shoot. What's my dark vision? 60. I could shoot an arrow and help out, try and finish that one off, I think.
Okay.
By that one, he means the one Hikan's fighting.
Oh, yes. I get an 8, though.
You get an 8. So you look into the darkness and you see it's, other than like the smile, considering how far away, even with your dark vision, it's difficult to get a true bead on it. You let the arrow fly, it passes overhead, and you hear a thunk as it hits something wooden behind it.
I knew I should have stuck to my claws.
You should have just been a bear.
So does the light from Tyrina is basically 20 feet bright and then 40 feet dim?
Yeah.
I still need to stay near to wherever she is. So. I'll still use my movement and bonus action to go here, protect Max, and become a bear to protect Max.
I must protect my son. My paternal instincts activate.
I feel so protected.
Bear.
Bear.
Bear dad is go.
Activate. Protocol. Bear dad.
So you just kind of, I imagine you kind of run over and do like a really dramatic, you'd like hop off a broken barrel and do a dramatic flip, and mid-flip you just unfurl into a bear and just poof.
Do not talk to me or my son ever again.
I was wondering how long it would take for that to happen. I thought that would happen with Nihilus first, but no. Renji.
Right, so...
No, this is more like, talk to him. It's not my problem.
Renji would take both of his weapons and rush the shadow to the east.
Okay.
And just first slash with the shadow dagger.
Yeah, that'll get him. Stab shadows or shadows. They'll never see it coming.
It's getting there. Sometimes roll 20 takes a while.
And that is 18 for 7 slashing damage.
7 slashing. Okay. You reach forward and kind of do like a backhanded slice with the dagger, and it cuts through it like paper. Just slicing it. You can see the smile begin fade somewhat.
And then I'll attack for a bonus action with the true Twilight short sword that I have summoned.
Okay.
And it'll take a while. That's a 20 for 6 damage. Hold on. No, that's only 2 damage. I'm sorry.
Only 2?
Yeah, no modifier, right?
If you're using it in your offhand, then...
No,
yeah.
sorry. It's a 3. Because I do get plus 1 damage for improved packed weapon.
Oh, yes. Okay, so it's 3 is magical. So this one also cuts rather swiftly through this thing. And it kind of recoils and then raises its arms in a sort of, I'm gonna fucking cut you, son, sort of stance.
Oh no.
Not if I get you first.
On Tyrina's go, she's going to... she's kind of looking around. It's like, I guess I'll take the guy to the south. She drops her thing, her sunrod. Still able to see with it from there, and just runs down here.
Fool! She does not take the clever way of doing this. Shove it in your mouth.
She's gonna run over and swing her mighty great axe at this foul creature of shadow. Getting an 18 to hit for 14 slashing damage.
Big damage.
Big damage. And as the axe makes contact, she's going to utter a prayer to Etheria, and she's going to smite this sumbitch.
Falcon!
And it's technically undead, so she gets extra damage on top of it. For an extra 13 radiant damage.
Oh my.
So there's kind of a slice, boom, just around the corner. There's a brilliant flash of light, and this thing is just no more. And she turns around and it's like, okay, guess I'll go back this way then. And she uses the rest of the movement to go back up here.
Sure, pops a thumbs up.
I guess she got her exercise in today.
Yeah.
Sho, it is your go.
I'm activating the blade song.
Okay, you activate your blade song.
And then... Hello
Hopping over the cart, you run over to this shadow.
And I'm going to swing at it with my Schward.
Your Schward.
16 to hit for 9 damage.
16 to hit for 9 damage, yes. So you also cut through it. There is a weight to it, much like Hikan experienced, where you're just pulling it through this thing.
Wait, haha, what are you talking about? My glorious Sheikah steel folded 10,000. I had to.
You had to. But yeah, so you cut through it. There's like a kind of a chunk of it that's now missing, but slowly beginning to stitch itself back up. Max, unless you had any bonus actions you wanted to take, Sho.
No, my bonus action was to activate the blade song.
Ah, so it was.
Aye.
If I want to activate full buffs, I need to spend a full turn. I need to activate blade song and then use an action to activate blur.
Yeah, I know that feel. I do love characters with like multi-turn wind-ups though. It's great.
Yeah. When I do activate blur and blade song, I am undodgeable.
Matt's gonna come around Ziden so he can actually see this shadow right that's in front of Big Bear.
Dad.
And then he's gonna lob a fireball at it. 20 for 9 damage.
29 damage. Excellent. So there's like a brilliant flash as it makes contact, which is then like seemingly consumed by the shadow. But you can tell you've done some damage to these creatures. But sadly, it still remains standing. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
That's it.
Okay, the Shadows goes, and they're going to retaliate against the awful onslaught that these bastards have done to them.
We're the bastards!
And their malicious, shadowy ways.
They implied that they wanted to give us the suck for our energy.
And so they shall.
No!
So the Shadow fighting you, Hikan, it reaches out a hand to try and grasp at you, and it's going to roll a 16 to hit.
It misses.
It misses. You duck out of the way of this thing's shadowy claw and sidestep with ease. Going to the next one that was attacked. I'm going to say that would be the one fighting Renji. It's going to attempt to do the same thing to him. With a 14 versus AC.
Nope.
Okay, so you kind of bat it away with the shadow dagger. It retracts its hand and just shake it like, you hurt me with your magical weapon bullshit.
I'm gonna cut this thing's hand off if it tries.
Then the one fighting the bear. Only gets 12 versus AC.
Nope, not even against low bear AC.
Oh my. Tries to reach out a hand, Bear's just like, no, just pulls it away. And
then the one engaged in glorious one-on-one combat with Sho will reach out to attempt to grapple him with his shadowy claw hand, and gets a 14 versus AC, which I don't think hits because you're blade singing.
No.
Okay, so they all miss, and because the civilians in the area are daydreaming, they automatically go last and stand around and do nothing. Hikan.
Hello.
Alrighty, time to hit him with my shtick. 21 for 9 more.
Once again, you kind of crump another part out of this shadowy figure, forcing part of it away, causing it to
Crumping being used as combat.
Small. Yes.
I'll crump with you, honey. Punch.
Okay, so you did manage to hit. You did manage to do some significant damage. So your next one.
You know what? I'm going to use a key point to do flurry of blows.
Oh, dragon kick his ass to the Milky Way.
18 for 8.
Okay, with that one, you do a palm strike and you feel a pulse of your ki just exit out, and you see the shadow just disperse in all directions until it is no more.
Hey!
You wanted my energy, you got it! And then I will move behind the one that's facing Sho.
Oh, it teleports behind you.
And then hit him with my other unarmed strike.
Nothing personnel
16?
A 16, yes, that does indeed hit, and you deal a respectable amount of damage as you strike at this one, but it remains standing. Ziden.
Well, I'm gonna bear out on this one then. That probably doesn't hit at 11.
Sadly not. It kind of
But
stretches.
that
Oh boy, that does!
Okay, so you bite at it, it stretches back to avoid you, and as it reconfigures itself, you just fucking clock this thing across the face. And you see like the shadowy form tear away with the claw, but it still remains there, just without a face now. Just standing ready to retaliate against said bear. Renji.
I think Renji is just going to finish off this one, the one on the east, and first with the true Twilight short sword. Waiting for roll 20 and my internet to work together.
You can do it, roll 20. We believe in you.
That's a 20 for 9 slashing damage.
Okay, so you bring the blade up to bear. You swipe at it. And it kind of it splits, and then as you kind of rest, the form sort of begins to reform, and then it's just siphoned into your blade and is no more.
Hey,
snap.
You just took another shadow into your shadow sword.
I know. It has now become even
Maximum
more of a
overshadow.
Maximum shadow.
Ow, the edge.
So yeah, that was my action. I think Renji is just going to make sure he's a little bit closer to the action, just in case anything happens, and that'll be his turn.
Okay, on Tyrina's turn, she's going to maneuver over here to back up the bear friend and attack with her great axe. Just kind of runs around the side of the big lump of and the axe kind of overhead swing, the axe finds purchase in the ground and splits the shadow in twain, and then it just shows go.
So I hit for 9. Can't punch this in the back for 6. Right. Okay. I am going to... use my sword. Might as well just give another cut. 22 to hit for 6.
22 to hit for 6. You do indeed hit. You cut another chunk out of this shadow. There isn't much left of it now, but it still remains in a form that can be threatening. And then afterwards, unless you have a bonus action that you would like to take.
Don't think I have anything that I can attack with on my bonus action.
Okay. In that case, Max, it's your go.
Gonna walk around again. Point finger guns at the remaining shadow. I cast a firebolt.
Bang!
125 for 6.
25 for 6. Okay.
Bang!
You manage to land the mote of flame in the side of its head, and it is barely. There is barely a form left, but it is still there. And it's going to whip around, and it's going to. Who would it attack first?
Who's it going to give the suck? Because he's a minor.
True, but he likely has a higher strength ability score than you do, so he looks the tastiest.
Strange danger.
He's going to turn around to try and grasp at Sho, but
Chris Hansen!
At Hikan, but misses. Hikan, you've seen this far too many times already. It's easy to avoid now.
No, bad touch!
And it's your turn.
Yamate Shadow Donut. Yamate.
So as Hikan says no bad touch in response to it, he whacks his staff at the hand.
Okay.
14?
That is enough. You kind of wheel your staff around and hit him with all your might, and it just disintegrates beneath your strike. And with that, combat has come to a close, as nothing else seems threatening at this point in time.
Deactivate the blade song.
Deactivating bear mode.
Sorry everyone at home. We couldn't purchase the good sound effects pack. We don't have your fancy pants Twilight Princess Wolf transformation theme. We have the time travel music from Wayne's World instead.
Out of curiosity, is there anything salvageable from these? Like, are they mounds of shadow, or are they just vanished?
They've just vanished.
Damn.
Sho's going to walk by the villagers. I assume they did not give. Who cares?
They seemingly did not give two shits about the encounter that has just transpired before them.
Given that we've just seen these shadows and all, would we be able to then identify that these people are basically drained from shadows and that's why they're like this?
Make a medicine check, actually. I'd say this is medicine.
Yep. May I use guidance on myself?
You may use guidance on yourself.
Yay!
I'm not smart enough for this, lads. Allow me to magic my brain bigger.
It's a good touch.
15.
Okay, so for a total of 15, you kind of look over them and think, it's possible. They do seem more frail than the average person would seem to be, but they don't seem like if they had been drained by shadows, they would be dead by now. Like if the shadows were there for the sake of eating them constantly, then they would be gone. But they're still standing, so perhaps there's something else going on here.
Maybe they were, training them within an inch of their life and letting them, live so that they would have a constant fresh snack supply.
Or as bait.
Yeah.
Would I be able to help any of them with lesser restoration?
You could try.
Do any of them look particularly special? In better shape, I guess, like someone who'd be the leader of their group?
Make a perception check.
Perception. With guidance?
If you wish.
Boy?
I don't think I need it, but why not? 21.
You look around, you don't seem to find anybody with denotations of leader or the super strong dude or whoever's meant to be the most athletically fit. They just appear to be your average person, maybe just like a a common peasant or a farmhand or something. Not anybody who stands out particularly.
Boom! That too really clenched it for you, buddy.
Oh, it did. If no one has any objection, I'd like to try Lesser Restoration on one of them to see if I can help them.
None of us took any damage, so...
Sure, why not?
It's not that kind of... I'll go with just this one, because she's right next to me. Casting Lesser Restoration.
Touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, drained, paralyzed, or poisoned. You place a hand on them, and you see this energy come back. You see like the dark circles beneath their eyes kind of fade away slightly. It's almost as if they've had something better of a night's rest. But the dazed state doesn't seem to go away. They just continue to be there.
So so you stop them from being sleep deprived, but it seems that they're still being harried by something. Balls. I make the notion to go to the church.
Alright.
Agreed.
Which I believe is in this way.
Follow Sho.
Follow me. I am king.
As you maneuver on, I'd like everybody to make perception checks. If you have any benefit based on hearing, you may do.
But 20.
23.
17.
24.
Show off.
And a 16 for me.
Okay, so as you're passing by, you hear a psst. Hey, psst, over here.
Over where?
It's coming. It seems to be coming from a northwesterly direction.
So
Kind of starts walking that way.
I'm going to assume the tree. Sho goes under the tree and looks up.
You look up into the tree, make a perception check.
11.
You look around. Seems to be a fairly regular tree. Doesn't appear to have any wildlife in it.
No one in the tree. Will
Not
you
the
catch?
tree. It's not the tree over here in the field.
Okay. Christ.
It's the scarecrow, isn't it?
You see this very basic looking scarecrow with like a drawn on smile and eyes on it, standing alone within this rather desolate field. As you approach, he goes, "Oh, hey, sup?
Sho widens his eyes like, what?
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you as well.
Probably me more pleased than you. I've been here for a while, and you're the first people here who isn't dead in the eyes, or
Dead in the body.
Yeah. I'm Jean-Luc. I've been a scarecrow in these parts for I lose count. I'm guessing 50 years, maybe.
You look really good for your age.
Thank you. It's so kind, so pleasant of people to give me compliments when we first met.
Why is this drunken child so good?
He's just lacking in cynicism.
Damn you, child. Damn you and your purity.
No damning the child's purity.
Damning. Sho's going to, assuming poor Scarecrow can't move his hands.
He could, like, as you get closer, he kind of like looks around and kind of confirms that you're not a threat, and then you can see that there is a bit of a wiggle to him. Like, he can animate himself in a way, but he can't open his mouth.
Sho, like, I guess, reaches our hand and gives an affirmative shake to Sho.
He gives you a shake, which is basically all shoulder. He doesn't seem to have elbows, so it's just...
Quiet. Well, Jean-Luc, I assume since you've been here for 50 years, you'd have a greater knowledge of what has possibly happened.
Oh, you ain't gonna believe it, man. There's like just freaky stuff happening. Ain't got no chill, ain't got no rhythm. There's just, oh man. So okay, where to start, I guess. Oh, I know. So from south of here, I think, I'm guessing, I haven't moved, so I don't know, but there's been talk of people passing through here. They say they're going to go to a mine of some kind, right? And that was about 2 years ago. And occasionally I see these humble folks coming down to pray to Hylia and all that kind of stuff in the church over yonder, right?
Yes.
Good. So a short time after, I'd say about a couple weeks ago, there were these really bizarre looking creatures, these kind of purple skin, ganglia kind of fellas. And they came back here with this big thing. I think they looked like they dragged something here from the south of somewhere. And then after that, they went into the church and everything went dark. And then these pilgrim folks, these nice folks, they all turned up, and half of them were dragged off southwards, and the other half just kind of stand here. And been standing here for about 5 days now. It's kind of concerning. They won't talk to me, and I goddamn, I do miss conversation sometimes.
Did
So
people
Hikan-
usually talk to you then?
Pardon?
Did people usually talk to you? Like
Occasionally.
they knew that you were sentient?
Yeah, they come by, they'd talk to me. Some of them would play some really cool, funky music, and then they'd go away again, and I'd be able to sit here and stare at my wall, because you can see he's facing southwards. So all he has is the view of the wall of this dilapidated building, this poor scarecrow.
Before we continue, would you like me to move you further that way so you could at least see the village a bit?
Sure.
Sho pulls the stake out the ground and essentially moves him here.
Okay. I have to remember as to whether or not he's actually is he? Yeah, he is. So I can move him there.
Looked like he was a token.
Yeah, I couldn't he looked like he fit with the rest of the tile, so I couldn't remember as to whether or not he was a token in his own right, or if he was part of the map.
Puts him in so we can at least see a bit better. There you go.
Oh man, it looks really cool over here. I like the tree.
Yes, apologies, but I assume you still have a job here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Has there been any commotion happening by the church? From what we can tell, there's that large, rather ominous orb in the sky.
Well, occasionally the church bell rings, right? And then these folks, they just kind of, they get all this energy from somewhere, and then they go over to the church, and then when the church bell rings again, they come back and calm down and just stare into space again. It's really weird.
Something's happening in the church. These purple skinned folk that you saw, you said that they went into the church, but they came from the south.
Yes, yeah. They from what I saw, from what I could gather, they came up from the south with something. They came all the way over here briefly, and then they went back down into the church.
Well, I suppose that we'll have to investigate the church. Thank you kindly for your assistance, Jean-Luc.
It's perfectly fine. It's nice to actually talk to people again.
We shall rectify the situation that's happening here, so that means the people that do come here will be able to converse with you as well, without fear of them turning into these less than cognizant husks.
You're so kind. I do miss that one fella with the music. He's always good with the music.
How many years ago was that?
About 6 months.
A bard. If we find any bards on our travels, I assume we shall send them here for your entertainment.
You are just a gem, sir.
Hikan's gonna keep an eye out for some instruments, something harp-like preferably.
Okay.
Sho can actually play instruments.
Hikan can play the harp.
So, Jean-Luc, do you have a last name, or should we just call you Jean-Luc Orchard?
He kind of shakes his head, which kind of moves the rest of his body. He's like, nope, just Jean-Luc.
Fair enough.
Oh, we shall try and deal with the commotion that's happening within the church and return things to normalcy for you.
Ah, thank you kindly.
Come on, everyone. Feet up. In fact, before I go, Sho, you get the action and materializes the owl out of his pocket dimension and puts it on Jean-Luc's shoulder. Just some company for you.
Ah, hello there, friend. Woo. Just...
She'll be back soon.
kind of, talk the day away. What?
You just, as we're leaving, you're just like, well, how have you been today? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so
Heading to the church.
heading to the church, which I believe is south of here.
South of hill. So through the streets.
Damn it, Hikan, stop splitting off from the group.
Well, I want to see if we got booze in the thing.
I'm looking for a harp, damn it.
Make perception checks as you walk along.
I'm gonna assume that, like, if you're going to find like harps, which are, you know, in Zelda sense, are usually kind of like almost holy instrument, you might find one in the church. To be honest.
You don't manage to find any kind of anything reminiscent of an instrument on your way down. It appears that whatever could have been used as an instrument may be stolen or destroyed by this point.
Is there actually a door here?
No, it is just a pathway that has led up to a stone wall.
Oh, so where's the church? We are past it.
I assume that I am near the rear of the church.
Yes.
Oh, so it's this. Wait,
No,
that's
it's
nice.
the big black thing that's around
That's
the
the
path.
church.
Yeah.
So this path that just leads into a wall,
Yes.
does the wall look like it's fake magic or something?
Make a perception check. Lots of perception checks.
12.
12. You kind of go up to it, just
Tap it with my quarterstaff.
tap it. Seems like fairly solid stone.
I'm gonna push around some bricks a bit.
Okay. You kind of reach out, you grab a brick. Seems fair, like you kind of try and pull it, doesn't move. Try a different one, same story. Seems like an actually fairly decently built wall.
Was your detect magic still going?
It is more than likely to stop by now. But I can cast again. And going to spell. Whoop.
Okay.
Batman Vision activate. Woof.
Roof. So you kind of activate Batman Vision. You look all over the wall. Seems like a completely solid wall to you.
Is there a door here?
Yes, there is.
Nothing here.
So should we go for the back exit or the front
I
entrance?
found the front.
Is
So
there
go in.
anything in the back, since I'm standing here taking a gander?
You look over, and you can also see a fairly solid brick wall. It seems as if there might just be a singular entrance to this building.
At the front, right? Okay.
Yeah, as big as it is.
As I'm walking to the front, do I see like any windows or anything, or like any place where I could take a peek in? I know you said earlier it was solidly built, but
You see like a couple of stained glass windows that have no latches, which are still like complete panes, and those that aren't are boarded up.
So it's kind of not easy to look through stained glass as well.
Yeah.
well, not without alerting people.
This is a holy ground. Do not And I repeat, do not mess with this place. I've had enough church desecration for my life.
So close that character sheet. I'll have to make sure I open up other ones.
Stack up on the door.
Let's see. Okay, so you kind of go up to the door. It's a double door, wooden double door, which seems fairly solid oak, with these metal rivets in it to keep it together. Testing it, it appears to be locked.
Is there a keyhole?
Actually, no, you don't need a perception check to scour the door for a keyhole. You find a keyhole, but looking through it, it seems to be blocked with something.
Okay. So it doesn't look pickable then.
Like the lock itself looks pickable, but it seems like judging by the fact that it's like you can see with your dark vision, you can see the grain of wood on the other side, through the other side of the keyhole. You assume that it might be barred.
There's a bar on the other side.
So,
Are there any of those boarded up windows near here?
Yes, there is one here.
Just before that, Sho's like, Using his fingers, he's going to mark like the gap, like the slight gap between the doors.
Yeah.
Back up to
And
give you room.
I'm going to cast Sword Burst and just swing a force blade just straight down the middle in between that gap.
Okay. Cast your sword blade. Roll your damage.
4.
4. Okay. So it's like as the force blades cut through the gap in the door to the bar on the other side. You can hear from the inside from like the chatter muffled by stone and wood. And as you kind of test it again, it seems loose, but it's still locked.
Like locked, proper locked?
Yeah, so it seems like the bar is still enough to keep it in place.
Hikan. You might have a right idea there. I will spend my time here making it seem like I'm breaking through the front. If you go through the side, you'll be able to divert their attention. Or rather, I will divert the attention so you can break.
Are the windows boarded up from the inside or the outside?
Inside.
You have to have a solid drop kick to get through there, buddy.
I was just going to push my quarterstaff against the edge, try to use it, the angle to push off one end.
Okay. Sure. So see if you can find a gap to stick the quarterstaff and kind of just
More like I'm pushing against one end, so that way most of the force is on that end to try to push the board out and around to get it loose.
Alright, roll a athletics check with advantage.
Because you're smart prime.
21.
As a crack as a board just kind of splinters slightly. It doesn't fall off, but you'll be able to rather easily push it.
I push it and I look inside.
Okay, so because the dynamic lighting line on here is basically a solid line, I'm going to dip you inside and you'll be able to see what you can see.
As he's looking in, as Sho sees Hikan peer his head in, he's going to basically just be actually just bonking on the door with his hand repeatedly, just to make it seem like, oh no, someone's trying to struggle to get in. We're going to keep our eye on the main doorway.
That's just going to help.
While sneaky drunk child.
So you stare in, and what you can see is a fairly tall, spacious room with various different pews, only half of which are still in any good condition. The room itself seems to be held up by 4 distinct, tall pillars. Towards the end of the room, up on a raised platform, is a tall, serene-looking statue of a fairly pleasant woman holding her hands out as if kind of to hold something. The thing she holds in her grasp, what appears to be a kind of rough-looking stone, which seems to just absorb the light, or what light you can see within this room. Even with your dark vision, you kind of look at this thing and think that it's just eating any light that is around it. You can see the vague shapes of 4 humanoid figures, one of which is on the raised platform beneath the statue that's holding this stone. And at the far end, towards the north corner and the south corner of the room, you see these large, indistinct shapes, which are just kind of sitting there. You can make a perception check to discern more details if you like.
Nope.
With a 9, they just appear to be big shapes.
All right. So since Ziden's right here, I kind of passed the message along that there's a lot of figures over there. I can't really tell. But I am going to start pushing against the other boards, trying to get it open.
Okay, athletics with advantage.
Ziden will pass along the message.
It'd be wise to breach at the same time.
14.
A 14, okay.
I'm preparing another sword burst to slice the bar.
You push against this one, it takes a little bit more effort. This one seems to be more securely fastened. But eventually there is a crack, and it just, you have to push a bit more after the snap in order to push it away. And with a 5, in damage towards this thing, you hear this distinct crack as you feel some heavy block of wood just snap in twain. And the door before you slowly kind of teeters open a bit, indicating that it is now unlocked.
Be ready for what might ever be inside.
Could I squeeze in the hole that I've made by chance?
Yes, I would say so.
You're the second smallest out of all of us.
Just kind of slink inside.
Alrighty, so I go ahead and slide inside. Could Ziden get in through those holes?
Sure. What I should be doing is making you both roll stealth checks to not be seen as you do this.
Can I get advantage because we're making noise?
Yes.
Yeah. we're just like rumble, 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 rumble.
With a 9.
Oh no.
High five.
Okay.
Are you just on the opposite side of this?
Yeah.
I moved over, but yes.
Also, Ziden, you didn't do advantage.
Oh, yeah, because I don't have the thing set up.
Yeah.
We'll set that up later.
23.
23.
Well, that's better.
So you kind of slink inside stealthily, expertly, after Hikan just kind of stumbles in, gets his leg caught on the window, and just falls. You see the shapes in the darkness.
I stay laying down.
Play dead.
So yeah, the door is loose for Sho and Max if you want to push it open. Yeah.
I'm opening it.
Yeah, I'd take one half and zoom and stakes the other.
Just slam it open.
Yeah. As you see the light from Tyrina's sun rod, you see that these shapes immediately just see the silhouette of you guys entering the room, and you hear distinctive sounds in Blinn, like a chatter amongst them, and the 2 shapes in the...
What are they saying?
In each corner. They're basically arguing amongst themselves, like the one on the platform is like, "You idiots! How did you let them in? They're just... how? Get them! Just fucking get them! Why don't you ring the bell?" And just... The other 2 are just arguing amongst themselves.
Max yells back in Blinn, "We let ourselves in!"
Tyrina's like, "Is there a fight?"
More than likely, Tyrina.
Okay.
They're speaking Blinn!
Okay.
Do I get to sneak forward with my sneaking, or did they basically see me and Hikan together?
Well, we need to roll initiative anyway, but I'd say
Yes.
that they probably saw, as the door was opening, they kind of saw the silhouette of all of you there. But I will allow you to get some sneaking advantages in a sec. So I need to get these character sheets open. So first off, I need this one.
I'm so ready for this.
Damn it, Max.
My critical failure 4 initiative.
So many critical failures.
You did your best.
No regret.
No regrets.
That one. and
Also, the PhD missing Renji
Say
Yes.
in the roll 20.
Oh.
He has.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, Netherlad is it seems Netherlad is not feeling too great, so he's going to bow out for now.
DM will
So it's-
assume control.
Yeah. So say he'll just do his turns, but for now he's just going to be quiet. But yeah. So let's see. I need to roll. Did I get that one? No, I'm still missing a character sheet. That's the one. So that needs to go over here. There. Right. And then this one over here. So Tyrina's initiative. Tyrina gets an 11. This big thing gets a 16. This guy, these guys get a 5. And then this dude gets a 19. And then we change the music to something a bit more exciting.
A bit more.
I will admit
combative.
that I am currently prone because I did not want to compromise Ziden's stealth.
That's fine.
Damn foot. Just lay on the floor.
Okay, so, I will be charitable and say that Ziden has a surprise round in this instance.
Because he was the only one of us who was sneaky.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Would Renji come in as well when we were opening the door?
He'd probably be at the back, ready to sling some Eldritch blasts. One would assume.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're saying it's Berlins we can see.
Mm-hmm. It's some kind of blin.
Those can probably be poisoned.
Well, yep, they have blood.
Oh my god, I'm a giant spider!
Oh no! The giant Skulltula again.
From the darkness.
So in the darkness, no one can see because of so much stealth. Ziden shapeshifts into a giant spider. And then I'm going to crawl up the walls for even more stealth.
Nice.
So how far off the floor are you going to be? Because the walls are 20 feet tall before they taper off into the ceiling.
You could go to the ceiling if you wanted.
See, I've got climb 30 feet, so I'm just going to go, up onto the ceiling.
Okay. So you just on the ceiling there. Sweet. Okay, so actual combat begins, and it is Ziden's go again, because he got 20 on his initiative.
Nice.
So I can get all the way over to here. Do I have any ranged attacks as a spider?
I think your web's a ranged attack.
Ranged 30/60. So 60 means with disadvantage.
Yes.
But I can hit that one. Or I could go further.
Unless you have the throwing expert feat, but spiders don't get that, so...
Let's see, I see a giant wolf, 2 little goblins, and some kind of golden goblin.
So they're more than likely bokoblins.
So I shall shoot a web at the one bokoblin that's within the 30 reach, which I would
Okay.
assume is with advantage. Because it's from stealth.
It's from stealth. Yeah, I'd say that's fine. So roll your thing.
20 to hit, and then all of that effect. Oh, it does
Okay,
damage. Holy crap.
So it takes 3 damage as a clump of web just hits from the darkness and slams into the side of it. It needs to make a DC 12 strength check. So deals damage first.
As an action, it can make the DC 12 strength check to get free.
The target. Yeah. So hit. The target is restrained by the webbing.
Oh yes,
So
I remember using spiders. They are really difficult for people to deal with if they just keep getting restrained.
Yes, they are.
It's. I remember the days of Marvel vs. Capcom. Web ball.
I remember the days when Robo Pirate threw a shit ton of spiders at us.
Web ball.
I do not recharge it, and that's the end of my turn.
Web ball.
Okay.
Wait, no, I can't do anything else unless I could use my bonus action to try and hide again.
You are not a rogue, so no.
Having fun yet? No, Peter Parker, no. So many batters.
Okay, so the one on the dais is standing there with the scythe. Oh, scythe, a staff. Wrong thing.
I was about to say, whoa.
And he seems to be dressed in these kind of like, from what you can see, Ziden, he's dressed in these talismans and everything. And he stretches out a hand and points to where Sho and Max are, and he's going to scream something in this guttural language.
Oh no.
And he's going to...
What kind of saving throw do we need to make?
None right now. But before the two of you see what appears to be this axe just of ethereal energy just form itself out of the ground.
Oh no, summon weapon.
Yeah, as it casts a spell known to a couple of you as spiritual weapon, and it's going to make an attack roll against the closest one's Sho, so it's going to be Sho.
Okay.
That's what I was...
So make a attack roll. So I guess a 15 versus AC.
Doesn't hit. The blade song's active.
Okay, nice. All right.
Does Surprise Round give you a full set of actions, or is it just one action?
Surprise round is a full set of actions, so you...
My main action was then using Barkskin.
Okay, sure.
Because shapeshifting is a bonus action.
Okay. Grand. So this axe forms out of the ground, attempts to swing at Sho, but Sho, you see this coming and just parry it back with the blade. Yes. And it is your turn.
Yeah, I don't know. Bye. Goodbye, axe. I don't have time to deal with you. I'm going to move 30 feet into the center of the room. So like here. And the bokoblin that is the poor boy that is... Oh, in fact... I need to get closer. I'm going to sling a chromatic orb fire against the webbed bokoblin.
Okay.
19 to hit for 21 fire damage.
It's just...
Chromatic Orb is the best first level wizard damaging spell. It is.
Mm-hmm.
You just you point the gem at this thing. The ball of flame just sails through the air as it's struggling with the web. You just sees this thing. The expression of horror comes on its face as it explodes in flame, lighting up the room briefly.
That is quite literally what happens in Marvel vs. Capcom. Web ball, reality stone. Web ball, reality. Infinite combo.
Is that your turn?
Yep.
If I wasn't on the ceiling, I'd hold up one of my many hands for a high five.
Yeah, I don't think Joe's gonna do that. Hate to be that guy high-fiving spiders is not my deal.
The shapes at the other end of the room bound forward, these immense wolf-like creatures.
Oh no.
Is pretty much exactly what they are. They're gonna bound over these broken pews. And one of them's gonna reach over to Sho here.
Hello.
And as it kind of sails through the air, it was going to bite at you, good sir, with its giant gnashing teeth. This wolf fox. A 14 doesn't hit you.
Miss me with that wolf shit.
There's a clunk. There's this kind of meaty clomp sound as it bites air, and the other one's going to run over and attempt to do the same thing,
Sure.
just to interpose against their master. And this one gets pack tactics because it is within. It has an ally within 5 feet of its target.
So this is rolled at advantage.
Yes. And this one gets a 23 versus AC.
So that will hit.
Okay, so it deals 13 piercing damage as the
Woof.
jaws of the creature bite into your arm. I need you to make a strength saving throw, my friend.
So minus 13, or else I get knocked prone, don't I?
Yes.
I'm good.
You're good. You managed to plant your feet and keep standing up as this thing tries to throw you to the ground, and you break free of its jaws.
Assistance needed.
And then it is Renji's go. I believe.
My general
I think
idea is that his usual thing that he does is that when it comes to the big fights, he hexes the big things.
Yeah.
And then normally just blasts the shit out of him. I don't know his spell list because he's a warlock, so.
I'll try and get to that. Sorry, I've been horizontal for a while.
That's fine,
That's
buddy.
okay. That's all good.
Renji will probably just after the last encounter, he switched. He put his shadow dagger back and put up a shield. And he's now fighting with a long sword instead of a short sword.
Okay.
Trying to be more on the defense. And what is the closest enemy at the moment? Because I'm
One
putting
of the
up roll
wolf
20.
foxes.
In that case, he is going to.
It's currently 70 feet away from you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any enemy that is already injured?
The only one that's already injured is a bokoblin which was destroyed by Sho Daius' spell.
Okay, then Renji is just going to go as fast, close in and toll the dead.
Okay. So that would be so 30 feet in, and then toll dead. Right.
Yes, so I'm going to put that in.
Okay. So I'm guessing about there. Then.
The character sheet will help, but
That's okay. I can click it for you if you want. I've got it open.
sure, yeah.
Okay. So you rush in, you raise your blade, and then the shriek of the twilight monstrosities rings out. Let's see. You going to go for the closest wolfos?
Yes.
Okay. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw. And it gets an 8. So it takes the 5 damage from the spell. And it shudders at the exclamation. Is there anything you want to do as a bonus action?
Currently, no.
Okay. That's fine. Tyrina's go. She's going to run over here. And what can she do besides smite shit?
Heal me!
Actually, yeah. What she's going to do is she's going to use all of her movement to get over to this wolfos, but she doesn't have anything that she can do as a bonus action, sadly. So she's going to menace this creature, and then it is Hikan's go.
Key point to use Step of the Wind.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the 20 feet, because it's half the original movement, right, to get up from prone?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to use 20 feet, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use 40 to get behind the wolf host next to Tyrina and Sho.
Okay.
Now we have pack tactics, motherfucker.
And then I'm going to whack it with my stick.
Nice.
21 to hit for 8.
Crack. Nice. You run over and smack the back of its head with the quarterstaff. It
Bad dog.
yeah. It
That's
recoils slightly at the thing. Then the bokoblin, this one solitary bokoblin, is going to look between its master and it's going to look to the wolf boss and it's going to be like, it's what it's going to do is it's going to attempt to circle. It's not going to attack. It's going to attempt to circle around using all of its movement to get over to there. You can see as it kind of runs around, it's aiming to get to this pillar. And when you guys look and see this pillar, you see that there is a rope tied to it, which leads up to something in the ceiling.
What can I see from the ceiling?
Judge Bell.
You look up and you see the mechanisms of what appear to be a church bell.
Hey. I would
Max,
assume.
I'm just
here's your
gonna
go.
step around this magic spiritual weapon and get in this guy's way.
Okay.
Hello there.
And then I'm going to punch him in the face with lightning using shocking grasp.
Ah, yes.
Nice.
Only for
Aw.
1 damage though.
One
Still.
damage, but you
Behold.
still hit him.
Yay!
You kind of just see it like this berobed man with the staff just stomps over in front of this bokoblin.
I haven't got the staff drawn right now, so I just bitch slapped him in the face.
Yeah, he just stop it, bam.
Seems more insulting than anything else.
Just like a firm boot on the nose.
And then Matt says in Flynn, where do you think you're going?
I'd like to imagine what you did was that when you were walking across, you were dragging your feet across the floor to build up just enough static charge so that you could zip them just quietly without 1 damage.
Oh yeah. And then that's that. Ziden.
So this giant bell,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where is it over?
So it looks like it's inside the steeple, which is towards the front of the building. So over there.
No dropping it on the wolves then. Okay.
I used deflect missiles on the bell.
Do not desecrate the church.
How about desecrating the creepy black rock thing?
That's probably not a part of this, so desecrate away.
Right.
I will
Just
give you
desecrate
one
the shit
free.
out of it.
I will give you 1 free desecration pass.
In which case, I'm going to use my action to dash and skitter all the way across the ceiling
Okay.
to the statue.
Yeah.
At which point, I'm going to go for this gem and try and, I guess, knock it out of her hands.
Okay. You won't be able to do that at the moment because that seems more like an action thing than a bonus action thing, and you use your action to dash over.
Fair enough. In which case, I don't think I can do anything with my bonus action. Probably not. No. But I'm here sneaky up on the ceiling whilst he's paying attention to all of them.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of want to give the giant spider the ring a jump now, just because that'd be terrifying.
still no webs. I'm done.
Still no webs.
And I am on the statue, I'm just gonna move it above so to see it
Yeah.
better.
Okay. So
You caused the gun to jam while reloading your Winchester. buddy.
As you-
Not
as
got
you
any
get
bullets
clo-
going.
as you get
Maybe.
closer to the stone, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Druid should have that, right?
I would assume so.
+6.
It's not
Yes,
like monks.
yes I do.
Yeah.
Wow. That is in the 2 possible rolls that you could have gotten. Both of them were critical successes for a total of 26.
Yeah, that's impressive. So you kind of creep forward, and you can hear this kind of just like start to pierce your head, but you shake off the disorientating supernatural noise that comes from this thing.
I like to imagine it's like, man, I've lived with Kokiri. You are not doing anything here.
Kokiri aren't creepy, they're just eternal children.
They could be very annoying, though.
Which is creepy.
The ones that get lost in the woods are.
But not that variety of creepy. They're creepy child creepy, but not whispers in the night creepy.
Yeah, but they're children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're perpetually children. That's the worst stage of life to be stuck at.
That's true. Meanwhile, Sho, you're being flanked by 2 wolves.
Do you want to deal with immortal 4-year-olds? I know.
That's true. Yeah, that
No,
sounds
thank
horrible.
you.
That sounds terrifying.
That's what I thought. I am... Okay, so is disengage an action, or is it bonus
Yes.
action? Fuck.
You have to have the feet to be able to do it easily.
Right. Okay, well, my blade song's active, so I have a pretty big jump speed. What would be the grounds on me? Well, I have to spend my action to disengage to basically jump over the wolf and land next to...
So effectively, yeah, you'd have to use using your action to disengage is basically you're consolidating all of your effort to not be hit.
Oh no, I'm fine with possibly because it won't get pack tactics, right?
Yeah, so it'll get pack tactics for the opportunity attack if you don't disengage to move behind it. At least the north one will. The one that the other one won't because you're still within its threatening space.
Oh, I'm taking a dumb gamble. This is it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground moment. It's gonna either go where or I'm gonna flip over and get my ankles chopped off.
Alright, so you're going to jump without disengaging?
Yep, just
Okay.
basically flip over and land here.
So the North Wolf Boss is going to... only getting a 12, so it misses. No, wait, it gets a natural 20 because it has advantage on the...
Damn it!
Dealing a total of 16 piercing damage.
I'm down.
How many hit points did you have there? 8.
I had 8.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not insta-gibbed. That's
No, I'm
the
down.
thing.
I'm down.
Yeah, you're just unconscious.
Damn it.
So you hop over and the thing just like snaps out and snaps at your ankle.
And I assume just bonk the floor and get KO'd.
Yeah, so you are just. Oh.
Can I use his free action to shout out, I got this?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck you.
But yeah, so that would be that one. The wolf bosses go. This one's gonna it's gonna go for big armored paladin lady and going to bite at Tyrina.
Should have activated Blur first.
For 15, which is she is wearing her armor, so that should make her AC 17, which is not enough. She kind of like raises the plates that are coating her right arm just to kind of snatch at its bite to avoid the damage. The other one is going to bite at the bastard that hit it on the back of the head with a stick.
A fair assumption.
Just wheels around for 20 versus AC.
That hits.
Okay, so you take 9 piercing damage as this thing bites hard down into your shoulder. And you also need to make a strength saving throw.
I'm proficient in those.
Yeah, for some reason.
22.
That's enough. So you basically, like, it bites onto you, and just as it's trying to pull you down, you reflexively bring up your palm and strike it in the jaw to get it to release you. And it recoils back. Then it's Renji's go.
Right, Renji is going to move further towards the and is going to hack at it with his sword.
Nice.
Shadow sword.
This one.
Okay, you get advantage on this because technically you can make a straight line
Woohoo!
between you and Tyrina.
Go on, roll 20.
You can do it. We believe in you.
That would be a 22 for 11 slashing damage.
Nice. You kind of like as it's busy trying to bite onto Tyrina, you run up behind it and slash it in its hind leg, and there's a deep yelp of pain from this thing as it lets go of Tyrina.
And I'm going to keep. I'm going to not use my bonus action. Instead, I'm just going to make sure that I have that. No, I'm just going to. Can I hold a bonus action?
Depends on the bonus action, I'd say.
Right. So there is the kind of the Bokoblin leader, right?
Yes. Seemingly this person over here.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to see how far they are from me. That is 50 feet. Let's see what I have in the character sheet, because I want to cast the Hexblade's Curse on them. 30 feet. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cast it in one of the fucking murder doggos in front of us.
Yeah, plus can it be transferred like a normal hex?
Yeah.
No, the curse. If the curse target dies, I do regain hit points, but I already am at full hit points, so
Okay.
no, not going.
That's fine.
Speaking of hit points, Tyrina!
So Trey's like, sure.
No, I was serious when I said, like, I got this.
Okay. Fine then. Sure. And just like, I'm trusting you, kid, and just swings her axe at the dog that's trying to bite her. Getting a 17 versus AC, which is enough. Dealing 9 points of slashing damage as the axe catches it in the face, but it still stands and snarls with a deep guttural snarl. And that would be her turn. Hikan.
Healer's Kit, are they bonus actions or actions?
I'd say that would be an action, because you're spending the time to open the kit, find the necessary things, and just apply them appropriately.
Okay, so I use one of the uses of the Healer's Kit on Sho, which stabilizes him.
Yep.
And then I will use my bonus. I will use Flurry of Blows to hit this thing twice.
You have to attack first in order to get Flurry of Blows, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, immediately after you take the
So
attack
am I
action.
on-
My bad.
But
I will
you
still
can-
do an
you
unarmed
can-
strike, though.
You can use your bonus action to dodge or something.
That would probably be a better thing. So I'm on 1 HP and stable, right?
Yes.
You're stable, but you're not conscious yet.
Right,
You're
okay.
On 0, I think.
Still on 0.
Yeah, you just don't have to make death saving throws unless the Wolfos decides to just ignore the thing that it's currently fighting and go, hey, that's an unconscious wizard now. Hey, so you finish applying the bandage and I'd say in the motion of pulling the bandage tight and do it, you just elbow the fucking wolf in the face for 7 damage.
Right in the nose, bonk.
Combat medicine.
You see, that's why I asked Tyrina, because she could have lay on hands and actually woke me up.
Yeah. Okay.
After taking who knows how many attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
1.
Well,
At least.
2 to get around you.
so on the problem turn, it's like going to look at the thing that shocked it, and it's like, oh, that, ow, friggin', ow, and brings up its cleaver and goes for a swing. But it gets a critical fail.
I'm gonna say that's a no.
Yeah. just Max no selling this Bokoblin,
Just quiet sidestep.
Yeah.
Comes back around with the other hand for another shocking grasp.
Okay.
6 damage this time.
Zap.
just dodge all of them attacks and then just pressure point poke them with lightning each time. Like zap, zap, zap.
Like he does the sort of claw hand when he attacks.
Yeah. So you like slash him with lightning.
Yeah.
And it staggers back much more this time. It's like, just growing more and more frustrated.
And goes, yeah, ow.
Ain't that fun?
It is fun. And then I believe, unless you have any bonus actions you'd like to take, I believe it's Ziden's go. Okay.
This gem, does it look like it's high enough up that if I just push it off, it might smash on the ground?
It looks fairly sturdy, and it's a 10-foot drop. It'll deal damage, but you don't looking at it. It doesn't look like it would smash on the ground. Hello again, and sorry for the abrupt interruption. During recording, it seems that recording stopped briefly, and we did manage to get back to it at least 15 minutes or so later and continue the game as we go. And we are close to the end as it is, but I thought I might as well interrupt this bit just to let you know exactly what had happened in the between time. So, to briefly recap on the combat, Ziden, using his spidery strength, pushes the stone from the statue onto the bokoblin spell speaker, whose attention was focused on the main fight. Ziden then scuttles down to prepare for melee combat. In response, the bokoblin mage tells its spiritual weapon to try and slice at Max, the attack going wide before pointing to the giant spider before it and using the spell Command to force him to flee, Ziden rolling low on the save and becoming subject to its effects. The Wolfos tried to bite into their elected prey, missing Hikan but managing to take a chunk out of Tyrina, who plants her feet and avoids being dragged to the ground. Renji, using his Twilight Longsword, cuts into one of the Wolfos, and Tyrina follows suit, while Hikan lays into the other with a series of mighty blows, killing it and moving up to assist the others. Meanwhile, the bokoblin engaged with Max once again swings and misses, receiving another shocking strike to the face and agitating it even more. Ziden disengages and scurries up the wall again, as per the command, and the spell speaker uses his opportunity to move closer and bless its wolf companion, in addition to commanding its spiritual weapon, only for the spectral axe to miss once more. With a blessed accuracy, the Wolfos bites into Tyrina again, but she stands firm, and once Renji's Twilight Blaze slays the beast, the paladin runs over and lays hands on Sho, bringing him back to consciousness and pulling him to his feet. Hikan moves to engage the spell speaker, which does an admirable job of parrying the monk's attacks with its own staff. Meanwhile, the other bokoblin finally lands a strike on Max, who retaliates by twinning Shocking Grasp, but still unable to kill the foe before him. Ziden, now free of the influence of command, moves to the ceiling and drops on the bokoblin mage, landing a nasty poisonous bite, to which the spell speaker responds with a hearty thwack from his staff. And that is where we continue play. And again, I apologize for the sudden interruption and the nonsense that has occurred from this, but, we're doing this casually, and hopefully we'll be able to catch glitches like this again in the future. But anyway, back to the game. Sorry about that, folks. We just had to do a very quick paranoid check because it looked like everything had stopped recording, but apparently it didn't, so we're good. All right, well, it did, but there might be we'll edit it. Okay, go.
Fix it in post. Fix it in post.
Go.
Right. I am back on my feet and I'm ready and I am thorough. So my original intention was to do some cool sick ninja flip over and use Agonizar Scorcher to incinerate the pair of these Wolfos. Yeah. That did not go as planned. Sufficiently pissed, Sho is going to teleport behind you, motherfucker. This bokoblin, I've died. These creatures have besmirched my good combative name.
Sho's nettled.
I am supremely nettled. And I'm going to, because flanking I assume, going to sword the shit out of this fucking bokoblin.
Yep, you just kind of like Max, you see this dark shadow with the sedge hat and his sword just... And like the reflection on the sunglasses, beneath the hat, just suddenly there's a
brief glint as the sword goes past.
And the elation of this bokoblin just is literally cut short.
A slightly grumpy Matt says, "I had that." Ignore the blood coming out of my arm. I had that.
Ignore my ankle being mauled.
The wolf bosses are dead. Renji,
God.
it's your go.
Renji is going to dash ahead and get here. Wait, no, just get a step further. A step back at least. Am I flanking the
Yes.
Yes.
pulling up? Well, that is good. In that case, I want to smack it with my sword.
Giant spider provides so much flanking.
Indeed. And let's see what it does. That is a 21 to hit, and it does an additional 2 damage because of my Hexblade's curse. So that is 13 slashing damage.
Nice.
Cool.
So you just kind of like you just trudge over and bring the blade up, slicing through this thing's skin. It's this Bokoblin spell speaker is not having a good day.
No.
And you can
I can assure him it's nowhere near as bad as mine.
Oh dear. So on Tyrina's go, she's going to utilize 10 points of lay on hands on herself, and then she's going to maneuver over here to assist with the flankings.
This poor bastard.
And then it's Hikan's go.
Does someone have dissonant whispers by chance?
Why?
You use dissonant whispers on it, then it has to run away, and that's 4 opportunity attacks.
Or you could just make him incredibly aware of the situation and return the favor. Flee.
19 from my staff,
Onk.
and a nat 20 for my unarmed strike.
Critical punch.
This is 11. How do you want to do this?
Yay!
One punch!
So it parried my staff swing with its staff, right?
Yeah.
I want to hit its staff with my staff and then kind of palm its staff through its head.
Ah, nice.
What is your obsession with palming people in such a fashion that makes them hit themselves?
Because it's funny.
He wanted to grow up as a bully.
Aw.
So you expertly guide the staff, and there's this kind of sort of sudden, like, sickening. Like, you do it with more force than you might realize, and it's kind of it's a mixture of Foley sounds that is somewhat like dry spaghetti being crumpled, in addition to a watermelon just being crunched by a hammer. Just
Woof.
as you feel like the speed and pressure by which you guide the staff back into its own face caves in a part of it, and with a gurgle it collapses to the ground, the spiritual weapon that it is summoned disappearing in its own way, and just silence falls over the church.
Sho waltzes over here, limps over, and takes a seat in one of the pews. It's like,
Ziden.
Max pulls his sleeve back up over his injury and casts mending on it.
Ziden will turn back human.
I fixed my rags into slightly less shit rags.
Oh.
Can I check over the goblins for anything of interest?
You may do so. Make an investigation check.
I'll check this one by me.
12.
Okay.
I got nat 20 on this one.
The two bokoblins have on them between them about 19 silver pieces each, and they both have these cleavers, which are basically just slabs of metal on sticks, mainly just there for the sake of it's a vaguely sharp thing. So, yeah. But they seem to function like long swords. They also appear to have 2 javelins each, and they all seem to have what appears to be they both seem to have piecemeal hide armor. The spell speaker seems to have a staff, which, upon inspection, doesn't immediately seem magical. It appears to be something vaguely of a quarterstaff, except the end has like skulls and other little fetishes just tied into the end of it. They also appear to be wearing some kind of hide armor, also with religious kind of cultish iconography all over it.
Hooray, cult.
And the spell speaker appears to have 2 gold pieces on them, and one draft of healing, which is basically half of a regular healing potion. So just 1d4 plus 2.
Speaking of potions, Max is gonna walk over to Sho and give him one of his regular healing potions.
Wait, I'll just use healing word on him.
So I'm
thank
trying
you.
to be nice.
No, conserve our resources in the outside world.
Sho gratefully accepts Max's offer because that's going to do more than the 3 HP that you're going to give me.
I mean, I give you a minimum of 5.
Yes, but this is what, 2d4 plus 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking those chances, please and thank you.
You could just both do it, but...
You know what? Yeah, do it. I'm going to shower me in your healing juices.
If you're gonna say it like that, Ziden's just gonna stay all the way over here and cast it from far away.
I
Go
need
ahead,
an adult.
So, bang. 6 from the potion.
Nice.
6 from the healing word.
Hey!
Very cool. Very cool.
Nearly back to my minuscule full health cap.
Yeah.
So, Rob.
Tyrina looks outside and says, it's still dark out there.
I guess I'll go inspect the magic rock.
Okay. Inspect the magic rock. It appears to be a 4-foot diameter, almost sphere-like. You believe that it used to possibly be a sphere, but it's
chipped out.
It's been chipped away. It, as said before, it is basically blacker than black. It is just so much so it seems to just be absorbing the light from around it.
As opposed to the sphere above the church, which is, I assume, the exact opposite. It is just a bright white.
Yeah.
I ain't no fucking scientist, but
Arcana checks?
yeah,
Arcana checks work.
I'm gonna.
While they're doing that, could I
16?
check the Wolfos for stuff?
Sure. Would you like to harvest the wolf or check to see whether or not they've got stuff?
I'll harvest them, why not?
Okay, so survival checks, please. Okay. Yeah, you get a decent amount of like wolfos pelt. I'd say you get somewhere in the region of like 2 pounds worth of wolfos pelt. You get 6 wolfos teeth and 1 wolfos eye. Okay. Arcana checks. So Max, you got a 13, Ziden, you got a 16, and Sho, you got a 10.
Yes, I'm a bit distracted
Yeah.
with my gaping life.
There was a whole function of this I completely forgot to incorporate. Never mind. So essentially, what you see is you look at this sphere, and Ziden, this comes to you first, with Max coming shortly thereafter. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know what the construction is, and you've never really kind of encountered an item such as this, but its purpose seems fairly clear. It seems to be some kind of focus for a mass spell, something like an amplifier. So it might be possible that this is some kind of ultra heightened darkness spell, in addition to possibly some other effects thrown in on top of that.
Can we tell how to break it?
If it's essentially a giant like crystal focus, you just hit it hard enough.
Yeah, so Ziden, you kind of realize that, that your first instinct of pushing it off the statue was a good one, because it seems susceptible to trauma, so hitting it more would probably do something to it.
Sho's gonna cut it.
I had a thought before you cut it. So did you say it's specifically a darkness focus, or is it just a focus that's been used for magic darkness?
It seems it seems specifically catered towards this type of spell, judging by its coloration.
Okay, so no repurposing it for better purposes.
Joe is going to dice this up.
Okay.
I mean, I'd just use a stick and hit it rather than...
Okay, so those attempting to break the stone, make your attack rolls and see how long it takes you to do it. We'll assume you hit it because it's an immobile object.
Everyone join in, beating up the rock.
10 slash, 9 bludgeoning, 3 bludgeoning.
Okay. So it's kind of like a chorus of clangs and cracks and slices and everything, but eventually this thing just kind of falls to pieces, and this sort of dark mist kind of rises from it and disappears into the ceiling. And Tyrina just kind of looks out the door and says, I don't see... Wait. Hold on.
Up of the vent.
And as you past her, you can see things slowly and steadily getting lighter, and eventually you manage to see everything.
Oh god, I'm blinded by the light.
Yeah, there is a bit of a moment where you have to adjust your eyesight, rub your eyes slightly in order to
First thing, go outside, look up.
Is the big white ball there?
You look up and you see no white orb. It just seems to have...
They were linked. I was right.
We did it.
Hooray!
Huzzah! Now we got to see those people.
Out of curiosity, is there anything with these gem shards now? Are they worth anything, or is there any reason to grab them or anything like that?
We could grab them and show them to Simeon.
My general thing would be that A, you could show them to Simeon. Or B, if you want some money, if they're actually good crystals, you could try and sell them off to Romaine.
Could do.
I'm going to put a bit of crystal in one of my vials.
But I am going to do what we came here to do. I'm going to scour the church for any artifacts.
Okay, so you make an investigation check. Max, you said you were going to speak to see what was up with the peoples?
See if this person who happens to be nearby is reacting at all to the change.
Yeah, the civilian kind of just, this fairly average-looking person, no longer like the others where they would just stand and be just staring off into space. He seems slumped slightly, he's barely able to stand up, and he sees you and goes, hi,
You okay?
really tired. Where are we?
Echo of Hylia.
Oh.
There was a big, thing with the darkness orb and everything around you being virtually night, and you guys staring off into space.
Max, you just got to hit him with the magic, and they'll understand.
Magic stuff.
Oh, yeah, I remember it being dark. There was... Let's see. There were... We got here, and half of us decided to stick around, and then the other half went south. They... Are they back? What's up? What's that? I need to lie down. Hold on. He just kind of sits down on the ground as he just...
We heard some people came back from south, as well as apparently some goblins.
The goblins. Right. I'm just gonna... Yeah.
Can we, help you walk up to where everyone else is with the buildings?
Yeah.
It's off your shoulder.
Alright. And as you do that, I think what we'll do is we'll call it there for a night, because we've gone on for almost 2.5 hours. And I need to make sure... I need to do some editing to understand the things we might have lost.
Before that, should you at least do...
Shows investigation.
Oh yeah, shows investigation.
And a critical for a total of 26.
And a critical success. You scour through the rubble, and surprisingly, despite the occupation of Wolfos and Bokoblins, you manage to find a fairly decently preserved tapestry, which is just hidden under the shards of wood beneath of old destroyed pews. You hold it up, and it seems to have like indications of, like looking it over. It seems to tell a story of people descending from the sky and beginning to settle, and then it seems unfinished, but you just see what appears to be the story of how humanity just descended from on high and settled the world that would later become known as the Hyrule Kingdom.
Shonon's over, rolls it up, and keeps hold of it. And I guess now we get to finish. We finish on my word.
Yeah. So, thank you guys very much for joining us, and thank you especially for your patience in regards to any audio glitches that may occur during this episode. But I have been ArticulateT, and with me I have had SteveTheSeregios playing Sho Daius.
Hello, goodbye.
I have also had Renji, son of Nihilus, being played by TheNetherlad.
He's
having another illness thing, so
who's disappeared because he's not feeling very well. Hopefully he gets better soon. I've also had Hikan being played by Alvarance.
bye.
And I've also had Ziden Shari being played by RoboPirate.
Goodbye.
And finally I've had Max being played by Keastreth.
Hi.
And we will see you guys another time, which may be a while because of earlier mentioned shenanigans. But anyway, take care. Bye. You have been listening to Hyrule Chronicles, a tale in the world of Legend of Zelda using 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. I have been the GM, ArticulateT. Thank you very much for joining us. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment and share this link with everybody that you can possibly find who might enjoy Zelda or Dungeons & Dragons, or both, or neither, if you want to. If you want to be up to date on these uploads, feel free to follow me at ArticulateT on Twitter, and I'm also on YouTube under the same name. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.